my second upload this evening is with regard to working on our body maintenance and maintaining a positive body image. So this upload is just a few guidelines with regard to how to find a proper activity, a suitable activity that will help fit your daily regime, or to help fit your requirements and to help meet your needs with regard to the level and stage and extent of what you need to be practicing. So there are a wide range of activities and measures that any one individual could attempt or just experience to see how fulfilling or rewarding it actually is, or to see how appropriate it is. Some people work with blood type diets and nutrition. Some people work with the regimes that are associated with your blood type. So if you know your blood type, it's always good to see what nutrition and activities are fitting for that. The other aspect of it is that when working out, it's always, as I've mentioned, always good to start slowly when attempting anything, and it's not good to overexert or over-challenge. So basically an active lifestyle is always recommended, and there are times when it's just not permissible. So with regard to heavy activity, you're fully aware, everyone's fully aware of what their capabilities are and what boundaries they have with regard to their own personal level of energies, fitness and skill. So the only recommendation that is ever advisable is to work with a practitioner. So I'm not going to speak too much about it, and I'm not going to give too much advice about blood type, nutrition, or any other nutritional advice when perhaps there is an ailment or anything like that. But with activity, it's always good for our mental alertness and mental agility, and it's always good to oil the cogs and to keep active as much as possible. So whatever you're capable of doing, even just a short 10-minute walk to the shop is a lot for one person. I used to walk 7 to 10 kilometers per day, and even just tottering around a one-bedroom apartment is just enough for me at the moment with the injuries I've experienced. So everyone's situation is relative, and it's always good to be able to identify what's most appropriate for your own individual circumstances, rather than trying to take on too much from other people's experiences. Everyone's unique, everyone is individual, and no two cases are the same. And as regards activity, it's always good to get advice with where to start, and always possible, whenever possible, to work with a qualified practitioner. So the other little piece of advice with regard to body image and body maintenance is our daily regime in hygiene. So basically everyone has different skin tones, everyone has different skin types, everyone has different skin needs and requirements. Some people have allergies, some people don't. So basically it's always good. Some people find it good to get a dermatologist's advice. Some people don't have the luxury of seeking a dermatologist's advice, but it's always good to know what your skin type is and to work with that appropriately and to treat it kindly and gently, basically. So just the simple skin care advice is to cleanse, tone and moisturize. And the only advice that I'd say for anyone that is younger than me is to start young and to cleanse, tone and moisturize as soon as possible. When you're younger, you don't have as much worries about lines and pigments and what pigmentation concerns and such, and retinol levels decreasing and such. You don't have to worry about those when you're so young, and you think that you always look young when you don't realize what's ahead with aging. So the hormone levels for teenagers always affect their appearance. Some are affected with pimples and spots and whatnot. So just get your advice that you need, and work with what your skin tone and type is really. The other matter is with regard to the aging process, and basically the retinol levels, the moisture levels, the oil levels, and basically less is more again. So cleanse, tone and moisturize as early as possible, and you mightn't have to worry too much about any of the aging concerns or aging process later in years. So the other matter is with regard to natural products and not so natural products. Everyone's preference is different. Everyone has their own unique taste. Some people have only preference for almond, coconut, and natural oils. Others prefer the perfumed products. It's all a matter of taste, but most importantly, it's a matter of needs and requirements of your own individual skin type. And always to be gentle when exfoliating, etc., and not to over apply too much either. So the other matters that basically concern body maintenance is just to, as meets your budget and as meets your possibilities with availability or whatnot, is basically maintenance of all our great gifts and senses that we were born with, and to keep them up to full potential as much possible. So the dental care, eye care, hair care, your hair is your crown is what they say. I had to take a drastic move a few months ago when I had to absolutely shear my head. Was it last year? My hair hadn't ever been that short, and it did it the world of good. It strengthened it, repaired the follicles, and with all matters concerned, it was a good positive change. So suit yourself, whatever suits yourself and whatever you're comfortable with. The best advice is not to take too much heed of other people's opinions with regard to your identity and your personality and your characteristics and features. We're born perfect. We make the best of what we're given. So body confidence is really important. And a lot of people oftentimes are sometimes suppressed with negativity or many negative messages about how they look and how they're not what is acceptable. And what is acceptable is only what one thinks of oneself, not what others' opinions are. And that's the main priority of anyone's positive self-development process. So the issues that are of importance, besides eye care and dental care and such, hair care and such, simple manicures, the best thing to do if you don't have the budget to meet your body maintenance requirements, like a good pampering session every weekend or every month or however often, the best way is to learn how to DIY a situation. If you want to learn how to pedicure yourself, manicure yourself, wax yourself, always have a learning process. Even do a short course just for yourself, and you could save yourself hundreds in a year. So they're all pampering treats really for anyone on a budget, and those that are able to expend and be luxurious with themselves, well then all the more power to them. And anyone then that has any special requirements, it's always good to address those with an actual qualified individual, such as a dermatologist or any practitioner that is actually fitting for the requirement. So other body maintenance matters besides activity and daily care and daily routine, the lovely aspect about having a routine, structure or regime is to be able to structure different pampering sessions into your own personal self-care. Now it's always highly recommended obviously that you maintain your hygiene obviously every day when you're feeling under the weather, or when you're not feeling great physically, or when you're having experience of medical concerns, there's always compassion and with regard to those matters. So, but everyone on a 9 to 5. In a working regime, you always get up and you present yourself in your best possible self. Weekends are always nice to treat and pamper, and always recommended are DIY treatments. So manicuring is very simple. All those, just your own DIY treatments, make them yourself, and pamper yourself at the weekends. And that's, a little bit of a regime and a structure for yourself at the weekend, and even perhaps once a month off to a masseuse. Or a chiropractor in my case. The other matters with regard to body maintenance would be just positive self-image. So you present your best self with how you appear, and with how you care for yourself. But it's also how you speak about yourself, as I've also mentioned in the previous uploads and communication. Your affirmative messages that say to yourself, these are my positive traits, these are my negative traits, I'll work on my negative traits, but I am this and I am positive about that aspect of myself. So just list out your 10 aspects that you're positive about, and make sure you list out equally your negative aspects, because there isn't anyone perfect, as we're aware. So work on your negatives and accentuate your positives, and then surely with effort and energy, you'll be presenting your best self to the world, and they'll love it.